I am Dr. Jaideep Shorangi. I teach English at Jogesh Chandra Chaudhary College, University of Calcutta, Kolkata. Friends, we are into module 17. This module is written and prepared by Dr. Kalyani Dixit, who teaches English in a college in Lucknow. Friends, in this module, we are to know about Edmund Spenser, who has been considered as the child of the Renaissance. Edmund Spenser is noted for Spenserian stanzas and his enormous contribution through Faerie Queene and many other writings. In this particular module, we are going to relate to the Edmund Spenser, the personality, in the context of early Elizabethan period. We must not forget the fact that it was the early making of the English literature, and the contribution of Edmund Spenser has to be evaluated in the context of early Elizabethan tradition, in the context of sonnet writing and the epic writing, as we consider the Faerie Queene as one of the finest epics written in English language. Friends, here's a brief history of Edmund Spenser, the man. Edmund Spenser has been named after the age of Edmund Spenser. So you can easily understand the variable presence of Edmund Spenser. Therefore, the age is known as the Spenserian age, or the age of Edmund Spenser. Edmund Spenser was the son of John Spenser and Elizabeth Spenser. Spenser was born in the year 1552 in London. He received his degree of MA in the year 1576 from the University of Cambridge. He got married with Elizabeth Boyle in 1594. Amoretti is a sonnet sequence that celebrates Spenser's love for Elizabeth Boyle. The man of brilliance died on 16 January 1599. Friends, here are some works of Edmund Spenser on the screen. Number 1, Shepherd's Calendar, and look at the year of publication, 1579. The Complaints, Daffodil, Astrophel, Amoretti, and Epithalamion, Prothalamion, The Four Hands, and the masterpiece, The Faerie Queene, 1590-1596. We have a separate module devoted to Faerie Queene coming up in the next. Spenser was greatly influenced by foreign writers like Ariosto, Tasso, Homer, Virgil, Plato, Cicero, and Lucretius. Spenser's Faerie Queene was modeled on Ariosto's work Volendo Furioso, one of the prominent texts of all time. He was immensely fascinated by Ariosto's romantic epic. Friends, he follows the tradition of an epic poem, and here are some elements. The Faerie Queene begins with invocation of the muse, an epic convention. He invokes Clio, the goddess of poetry, Cupid, the son of love, Venus, and Venus, goddess of beauty. He makes use of epic similes or Homeric similes to make the book read like an epic poem. He writes the tales of war, the heroic exploits, the chivalry, fears, battles, and with epical themes. The Red Cross Knight has been referred to as the valiant Elfie, the Elfin Knight, the epic phraseology. The next epic convention is vast setting of the story. The story is panoramic. It spans different geographical locations. The story is set in fairyland, and Dusser goes into hell with night to retrieve Sans joy. It's a long poem having as many as 12 cantos, comparable with the vastness of the Iliad and the Odyssey. 40 to 60 stanzas are found in each canto, so you can easily understand the vastness and the scope of the poem. Another important aspect that we related with epic poem is medievalism. In Faerie Queene, the characters are drawn from the Middle Ages. They are not ordinary people, but the valiant knights and ladies, magicians, witches, hydra-headed monsters like Fowler, and the giants like Orgiglo. So you can easily understand, they are not common people that we meet in everyday discourse. Medievalism is one of the key aspects of Spenser. That means digging out the Middle Ages atmosphere. Spenser's use of magic, black art, witchcraft represents medieval superstition. He is also an important user of allegory. It was a favorite device of the medieval times. A long chain of noble knights, ladies, represent a vast picture of the Middle Ages. So he unearths the qualities that we associate with the Middle English period or the Middle Ages. Friends, Edmund Spenser means allegory. Allegory makes abstract comprehensible, affordable to read and to believe. So the presentation of unbelievable through the believable life is one of the master strokes of Spenser. There are 4 kinds of allegory that we come across in the work called the Faerie Queene. Number 1, religious allegory. Number 2, moral allegory. Number 3, historical allegory. And number 4, allegory of justice. If we talk about religious allegory, Reformation was a major religious movement of the Elizabethan age. In module 16, we have had discussions on different parameters of Reformation. So you can easily understand and correlate it. The Reformed Church of England is represented by the Red Cross Knight, who raises his sword against corruption and evils of the age. So, this poem or the poems written by Edmund Spenser have sociological dimensions and commitments. Pope of Rome is represented by the foul dragon who arrested humanity in form of the parents of Una. This clearly indicates to the symbolic overtone that has been attached with it. Monster error swallows the papers and books that represent false teachings of Catholic Church. The very incident and its representation is contextually symbolic. Philip II of Spain is represented by Orgullo, and you understand the connotation exceptionally well. Now friends, if we associate moral allegory in the context of the Fairy Queen, we have the chart as you see it on the screen. Good characters represent virtues. Bad characters represent vices of the time. Red Cross Knight, very important character in the text. The Fairy Queen represents holiness. Lady Una represents truth and innocence. Parents of Lady Una are the embodiments of humanity, and dragon all stands for evil. Jueza, falsehood. Archimago, hypocrisy. Sansloy, lawlessness. Corsisa, blind faith. Kirkipine, carnal passions. Lucifera represents pride. Orgullo, papal power or pride. And Arthur, magnificence. After this comes historical allegory. Historical allegory implies the representation of certain historical figures or historical events through the portrayal of characters and design of events in the series of plots or construction. Book 1 is a celebration of the part of Elizabethan Tudor, the Protestant Empress, and you can easily understand and relate it with the historical time as portrayed in this book. Jueza and Una symbolize the story of impure papal religion and impure imperial religion. A snake, like a beast, allegorizes the Inquisition, which represented papal tyranny. The Earl of Leicester has been represented by Prince Arthur. Now friends, after historical allegory, here comes allegory of justice. Allegory of justice is present in two parts of book 5. In 10 to 12 article, the symbol of justice finally dispenses the justice. The need of justice for love is represented by Britomart. There is a giant who represents egalitarianism, and egalitarian or egalitarianism pretends to be justice. Now, when we talk about Edmund Spenser, we talk about the pictorial qualities of Edmund Spenser. He is one of the finest word painters of all ages. His masterpiece, Fairy Queen, is rich with concrete details, figurative descriptions, epic similes, and artistic innovations. First, the masterstroke lies with the word paintings. That means he pictures through words. Just like a skilled painter, without a brush, with the help of a pen, he portrays the pictures dexterously through the words, and the paintings are visible through words. He draws persons, scenes from nature, the human body, especially women's body, majestic palaces, grotesque, monstrous descriptions, and sceneries. The color sense of Spenser is amazing, which astonishes both men and women alike. Friends, just look on the script. On the screen you have paintings and pictorial descriptions. Nature painting in words. And we contextualize in stanza 10 of book 1, canto 3. Here he describes the beautiful place. In book 1, canto 4, he paints a picture of majestic palace. Palace was built of square bricks. Wells were covered with sheet of gold. It was decorated with delightful flowers and windows. A stately palace built by squared bricks, which cunningly was without mortal blade, whose walls were high, but nothing strong nor thick. And golden fully all over the display, that pure sky with brightness they dismayed. High lifted up were many lofty towers, and goodly galleries far above laid, full of fairies, windows and delightful bowers, and on the top dial told the timely hours. That is book 1, canto 4, line number 4. So stanza 4. Friends, when we talk about painting, we should not forget about the coloring. The color strategy of Spenser is immaculate. His description of red, white, black, green, gold, all colors is really apt, appropriate, and amazing. Painting of face with scorching sunny ray, depiction of white ass, more white than snow, but the lady whiter than the ass. All are beautiful to description. Milk white lamp, coal black blood rushing from monster's body, depiction of Aurora, the purple god of dawn. All are, in one word, amazingly wonder. Friends, in this module, we try to capture the importance of Edmund Spenser. We try to contextualize him in the context of Elizabethan RD writers. And we associated the contributions of him through different linguistic, thematic, structural, stylistic, stanza innovations, and as a whole, his contribution to the literary growth and development of English language and literature during his own time. He is so important in his time that the age has been named after him, and we call it the age of Edmund Spenser, or the Spenserian age. I hope you enjoyed this module very much. Thank you.
Spenser was an Elizabethan poet who came to County Cork in about 1580 and spent much of his time here, both as a colonial administrator and as a writer. His relationship with